Reggie's having some more problems out there. Is he having a problem with a leg? Or what? He doesn't feel right, or something is wrong. He's having a little problem. An ankle, or what is it? He went in there, looked like he was getting his cleats worked on, but it was the trainer, appeared to be Gene Monahan, who was doing something with him. Now Gene is going to come out again. Find out what's going on. So he will leave the game, escorted by Gene Monahan, and Bob Lim will have to put somebody out there.
Number 14.
Lou Piniella, he'll warm up a little bit. Deep to left field, near the track, back as Henderson leaps and cannot make it. Home run for Piniella. Murphy with 2 base hits. He doubled in the 5th. Back. Double play. Game is over. Yankees take a 2-0 lead. Reverine, Robertson back 3-6-3. And the Yankees go into Oakland leading by 2. It is 72 degrees here in Oakland. A good crowd on hand. And in the background I'm sure you hear the Oakland fans reacting to their Oakland A's. They love them here. The Yankees want to nail it down tonight and go on to World Series, but the Oakland A's say not just yet. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Garagiola, as always, alongside me, Tony Kubek. And, Tony, the reaction of these fans, first of all, it may be a 10th man in the stands for these Oakland A's.
It sounds like a very tightly enclosed disco place, doesn't it, with the music in the background? And one of the best ovations we've ever heard from a manager right here. He got it in New York from the Yankee fans. He got it again today from the Oakland A's fans. It may not be a full house, but they're going to be very loud.
They are very loud, very enthusiastic. It should be a great evening. We talked about the Yankees wanting to nail it down. They're using Righetti. Righetti won 8 games, lost 4. He's a strikeout pitcher. He averages 7.6 strikeouts per game, so it's going to be tough for these Oakland A's.
It is. They don't have a whole lot going for them. Of course, Righetti coming back with proper rest. Neither the Goose nor Ron Davis were used in game number 2, so they will be rested. If Russell is needed, he can come out of the bullpen. The Yankees have been hitting .370 as a team, and trying to talk over what you're in behind is getting more and more difficult. I think we'll find a good ball game out of this because Matt Keough, he is their hope today. He is 2-0 versus the Yankees this year.
So it's going to be a big night. Let's go to the PA announcer.
Now to honor America, please rise, the singing of our national anthem as recorded by the Oakland Symphony under the direction of Mr. Calvin Simmons.
The playing of the national anthem, we're getting ready here. Dave Righetti for the Yankees. He won 8 and lost 4. Matt Keough won 10 and lost 6 for Oakland. We'll be right back after these messages. From Oakland, the Yankees and the Oakland A's. We have a bit of a delay here with the ceremonial first pitch. What a shot at this beautiful Bay Area. Tony, I'm not about to identify rivers or bridges.
Wouldn't touch it for anything. It's a nice day inside the ballpark. You will have some sun and shadows at Oakland Bay or San Francisco Bay. Somewhere out there in this area is the Golden Gate Bridge. If you take a right off the George Washington Bridge, take Route 80, it'll take you right to that bridge right there, one of the most beautiful in the world, the Golden Gate Bridge.
There are the shadows that Tony's talking about. You think they'll help Righetti or Keough?
It'll help both of them for a few innings, throwing out of that bright center field sun through the bright spots across the infield. Righetti is a very hard thrower. We remember him, Joe, where we had him in a game in Kansas City, where the radar gun had him at 97 miles an hour in stretches. Also, he has one of the best straight change of paces in all of the American League, with a good curve and a good slider. If he is going to have a problem, it will be with control. That is Clyde King behind him, the pitching coach of the Yankees. The A's have taken the field.
They love their Oakland A's here. Here is a Yankee lineup that Matt Keough will be facing. Jerry Mumphrey leads it off in center field. Milburn will be at shortstop, batting second. Dave Winfield in left field, batting third. Reggie Jackson is the designated hitter. He still has a little bit of a problem with the leg. Gamble is in right field. Greg Nettles is at third base. Bob Watson is at first base. Batting eighth is Catcher Cerrone, and batting ninth is Willie Randolph at second base.
Matt Keough, his father Marty, a former major leaguer. Matt is the young man who had a year that he liked to forget. 2 wins, 17 losses. He lost 14 consecutive ball games, and he just kept going on out there. And then Art Fowler and Billy Martin got him and made him a pitcher. Learned a little screwball, learned to throw strikes and not be a nibbler. He is 2-0 versus the Yankees this year. There you see his stats. Not a very impressive ERA at 3.40. Joan, with the Yankee power, which has been somewhat dominant, especially game 2, an important stat that you don't see there in 140 and third innings pitched, he has allowed 11 home runs. This Oakland staff has allowed 80.
In this series, the Yankees as a team are hitting at 371, 26 for 70. They have 2 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Oakland's hitting 246.
Well, we've had pretty good defensive baseball in this series. He'll be the defense behind Matt Keough, Ricky Henderson in left, Dwayne Murphy in center, Tony Armas in right, Mickey Klutz at third, Rob Petro to the shortstop, Dave McKay at second, Calvin Moore at first base, Jeff Newman catching today, and of course Matt Keough. The A's in the clubhouse and around the batting cage were looking for positive things to think about and talk about. There you can see the dimensions. It is usually 400 at dead center field and 375 in the alleys, but they have a temporary fence put out there from left center to right center, which is put in for football, so the dimensions in those areas are 3 feet shorter. Like the umpires walked out with the head of the umpires for the American League, Dick Butler, before the ball game, and they talked about what might happen if fans reach over the fence.
There's the fence that we're talking about.
That's
right
the
there.
Permanent fence now, Joe, which has always been your 8 feet high. As you go farther toward left center field, you will see a screen fence. That's the one the umpires were looking at, where if Dave Winfield or a Murphy jumps up against it, the fan can reach in the field of play and maybe obstruct their view or knock it out of their hands.
That yellow line you see is the important one the umpires will be watching. Anything above that is out of the ballpark. Here is Jerry Mumphrey to lead it off. 5 for 9, 2 runs scored, 1 double. He's hitting 556, and there's the first commercial of the game. You're not going to run us out of the ballpark.
Well, only Keough knows, but he really flips Jerry Mumphrey. Cerrone took one off the edge of the batting helmet in game 2, and with that sunny background, he did not react and get out of the way in a hurry.
Mumphrey is still walking around, as you can see. He knows what that message was.
And you might recall that, not too many weeks ago, when Reggie Jackson was knocked down, that Mr. Steinbrenner said if his hitters get knocked down, he might consider legal action.
And Mumphrey takes a hard cut at the very first one that's in the strike zone. And we've got what is known as extracurricular activity going.
Well,
be interesting to see what happens when Righetti does.
We can't accuse Keough of throwing at anybody. First pitch of the ball game, be silly to do that.
I didn't say he threw at him, Tony, but I guarantee you he wanted to get high and tight and be as close to his chin without hitting him as possible, and he got there.
Billy Martin is one manager, Earl Weaver another. There are many others who do not want their pitchers purposely to throw at hitters. They feel if retaliation starts, you end up getting a kid like Ricky Henderson hurt or a Dwayne Murphy. But there is an understanding, an unspoken word.
Keough averages 2.9 walks per 9 innings. He's got a pretty good idea where the baseball is thrown. And that's the message right there. Curveball, strike one. Strike three, rather.
Number 18.
It's an exceptional curveball. He also has an excellent screwball, as we told you. Fowler wants him to get ahead of hitters, the most important thing.
Right back off his leg. It'll be a base hit. Picholo runs it down, but Milburn is on. He was 5 for 9, 6 for 10. That's a 600 average.
It seems like, and well, you can go back to World Series, postseason play, there always seems a guy who quietly gets no publicity and gets a lot of base hits. We'll see Milburn's hit off the leg of Keough right here. Right off the right ankle. Remember Bobby Richardson, who set the RBI records in the '60 World Series. A Crissetti on the Ruth teams had a big World Series one year. Milburn has really gotten on base a lot, Joe.
That he has. Here is Winfield, 2 for 8, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, 1 double, a stolen base, a .250 average, and a tremendous catch that he made off Armas to rob him of a home run.
Went through those playgrounds. Look out.
Well hit. Winfield leaps, makes the catch. What a play. Robbed him of a home run. High.
Joe, the Yankee lineup that we're seeing a late change. Reggie Jackson, who pulled a calf muscle, was in the lineup up until just a little while ago. So now Bobby Mercer has taken his place as the DH.
He's on the on-deck circle, so it will be Mercer. Hit hard, left field. Right at him, Henderson.
What a bullet. You will not see too many balls hit harder than that, Joe. That was an absolute bullet.
So here is Bobby Mercer.
Murphy started to come in a couple of steps, and then the ball just took off and went all the way out to him. Watch the intense concentration and power. Head down, the follow through, tremendous hand action. He's trying to pull it to either sink or take off. What a good reaction shot.
Bobby Mercer. All one. One ball, no strikes. There's the strike. 1-1 to count. Matt Keough. They need a tough game from Keough. It gets away from the catcher Newman. Milburn to second.
Call it a strike. An appeal from Keough. They asked Jeff Newman to look down at the third base umpire, Vic Voltaggio. Call it a strike. Said Mercer did go around. There's Voltaggio, third base umpire. Like he tried to throw a curveball. He overthrew a curveball or a slider. Newman has it ricochet off his glove and chest protector. You know, I think it's important, Joe, that this first inning, so that the Yankees don't get ahead, because they've got the Goose rested down there and Davis rested down there, and that's murder. The Yankees get ahead from the 6th and 7th inning on.
The statistics from that 7th inning on, Yankees 53-3 as far as games won going into the 7th inning with a lead. They scored a wild pitch. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Bobby Mercer, who replaced Reggie Jackson, who was in the starting lineup. It's outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Milburn is on at second base. He singled and went to second on the wild pitch. Outside, he walked him. So Mercer is on and brings up Oscar Gamble. Gamble is in right field tonight.
The batter, number 17, Oscar Gamble.
Milburn at second base. Mercer is on at first. 2 outs. Top half of the first inning. Gamble is 1 for 5 with 1 RBI, 2 runs scored. That's a 200 average. High.
So he looks like when he stands on the rubber, he's in a very awkward looking position. Watch when he takes his spot on the rubber with the left foot really closed and that left shoulder, he's almost looking back at second base. That last pitch he threw wild high outside. And as you pan up, you'll see that left shoulder, he's really facing towards second base, or close to it.
High.
I'll bet you that's 2 pitches in a row. He's thrown wild high. It looks like he's not being able to open up enough to get the ball down in the strike zone. Look out, Joe. All right, you tell me on that last pitch, was he facing second base with his shoulders as much as he was the ones prior to that?
I couldn't tell the
distance. The difference?
I really couldn't, Tony. It's 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs. It is low. 3-1. The bases are loaded. Another base on balls. And the hottest man in the Yankee lineup, Nettles, is the hitter. Nettles is hitting .714, 5 for 7, 1 home run, 6 runs batted in, 1 double, 2 runs scored. He was 4 for 4 yesterday.
We'll show Matt Keough from center field once again on the last pitch to Gamble. Watch him right outside once again. 3 of the 4 pitches that he has thrown for balls to Gamble were outside. The other one was low.
You have to be careful here. He's been wild, and Nettles won't just jump on the cripple on the first pitch. It is low.
Away again.
It's ball 1. Outside. 2 balls and no strikes. We're looking at Jeff Jones. Billy can't afford mistakes this early. He's down by 2 games. And that's young Michael Nettles watching Daddy in the batter's box with a count of 2 balls and no strikes. Down the right field line. It is going deep near the wall. And a nice grab by Armas.
Might have been fouled at Yankee Stadium where it's 310. That is around the flagpole for a grand slam. That is what made the gate the Yankees left-handed power. That little bit of distance in right field.
It was a fair ball if you're scoring. Fly ball to right fielder Armas. A good play. So an exciting inning. The Yankees do not score in the top half of the first. And here you take a look at it again. He's on the warning track and makes the grab right there in fair territory to end the inning. So we go into the bottom half of the first inning. It's the Yankees nothing, Oakland A's coming to bat. It'll be Henderson, Murphy, and Johnson.
We'll show you the bases loaded catch off the bat of Greg Nettles by Tony Armas. We've seen good catches by everybody. Here's Milburn coming in. He thought it was going to be at least a double and a couple of runs. Dave Righetti.
Young man, he's been some pitcher. I'll tell you, he throws hard. Here's the lineup for the A's. Henderson leads it off in left field. Murphy is in center field batting second. The DH Johnson. Armas is in right field. He's in the cleanup spot. Klutz at third base. Kelvin Moore is the first baseman. McKay at second base. The catcher is Newman. Rob Picholo is the shortstop batting ninth.
Catching number 10, Rick Cerrone.
Over the second half of the season, Righetti might have been the best pitcher in that league. Very impressive stats. 8 wins, 4 losses.
Cleet Boyer.
Earned run average just over 2, Joe. I think when you analyze pitcher stats, a lot of things come up. When you look at the number of hits to innings pitch he's given up, number of strikeouts to innings pitch, a few home runs, he's been something.
Dave Righetti, he'll be facing Ricky Henderson. Gave up only 1 home run, and that was to Gorman Thomas. He was 5-0 with an earned run average of 1 in Columbus when he was called up by the Yankees on May. And there's a fastball, a strike. The opposing hitters had only a combined batting average of .196 against Righetti. Henderson has had a good series. .333 average, 3 for 9, 2 doubles and a triple. Lined out of play, and it's strike 2.
Henderson really hasn't been in any situations where he could take off and steal. Third base in game 1. They say he's the man that makes the club go. He's got to get base on balls. His base on balls total slacked off a little bit toward the end of the year. Some say that the umpires are not calling him when he's in his crouch and when he stands up. He's not getting as many high pitches this year.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Henderson is the only American League player to ever steal 100 bases in the season. In 1980, he stole an even 100. Lou Brock, of course, with 118, and Maury Wills 104. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Base hit, center field. So that brings up Dwayne Murphy.
And we've got a young man on the mound, Dave Righetti, who might give Henderson quite a battle. Henderson is going to do a little groundskeeping now around first base. He's marking his spot on the grass. It's a trick Joe Morgan used to mark a spot. He wants to get so far that he knows he's got his proper lead. Righetti has a good move. Good move.
I wonder why a first baseman wouldn't go there and just rub it out to agitate him. It's a lob throw.
I recall a Saturday afternoon game against Kansas City. We saw Ken Kaiser call a balk on Righetti. Poisons that leg.
Murphy hitting .286. Takes it high, and it's ball 1. 2 for 7, 1 RBI, 1 double. The Yankees acquired Righetti from the Texas Rangers along with Juan Benitez, Paul Mirabel, and Mike Griffin. Big trade. Sparky Lyle, Mike Heath trade. He didn't get it, but what a cut he had. He wasn't fooled by that pitch 1 minute.
You want to see the intensity of a base stealer as he's trying to pick up not only signs, but pick up a little move that Righetti might be making. Scouting reports probably tell what Righetti does with his feet or his shoulders, and look at Henderson trying to pick it up.
He glances to his left with his eyes. There's the move.
That's the one where he steps off that we saw him pick a guy off against Kansas City. Step back off the rubber, flip it.
When he looks to his left, he's checking with his coach. He's just watching the pitcher now. Foul tip. That got the plate umpire, Jerry Neudecker.
Something happened to Murphy, too. Murphy's hurt something.
Side. He had a good cut.
Joe Romo's coming out for Dwayne Murphy, who on that swing may have pulled something, Joe. We'll show it to you again. He now in his lower right side of his abdomen. See if you can pick it up. A hard swing, fouls it back. See if he winces in pain. He went down almost on all fours. Martin has come out. Now Joe Romer, the trainer, he may have pulled a muscle.
Sometimes on a hard swing, you can pull that muscle and tear a rib cage. He says he's all right, Dwayne Murphy. He had a good cut. He was not fooled by that pitch at all. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out. The base runner at first is Henderson. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. The Yankees won the first 2 games.
We'll have to watch this swing now if he goes after a pitch. See how bad it really is. He hasn't tried to swing hard at a pitch yet.
He lines it foul. He's kind of reached for it. Henderson at first base, 56 of 78 on the year. He led the American League in stolen bases.
Righetti's move, a fooler, as you can see. Henderson going back to first, thinking Righetti was going to first base for a pickoff. Could be a decoy, too. Decoyed him and take it off right now.
It's that right leg that sends him back. High and tight.
He's hurting. Oh.
He's in pain.
Really
They're
hurt.
coming out again.
I don't think he's going to continue, Joe.
He may have to leave this ball game. Dwayne Murphy, here comes Joe Romo out there. Billy Martin coming out once again. And the youngster is in deep pain.
Murphy, one of the best all-around players in the American League. He slumped with his average near the end of the season, but he hit some home runs. We've seen him play brilliant in the outfield in games 1 and 2. Cliff Johnson is playing hurt today, Joe, and they don't have a whole lot of firepower.
He can't straighten out. They're going to make a change, it looks like.
Really a shame.
They'll afford to lose him. He took a hard cut on that fastball, and he's just having trouble breathing.
That's a check swing. A check swing, and it's just the shooting pain. It's either a pull or a tear. They're now working on him.
He wants to stay in the game. That's pretty obvious.
Murphy had 15 home runs, second to Johnson on the team. 60 RBIs, second to Armas with 76. Excuse me, Armas had 22 home runs. Murphy was third on the team. He can't even catch his breath, Joe. He wants to go on and play, and he's not going to make it. You wonder if that area, if it's a pull or a tear, you can even separate the rib cage. We don't know for sure. We're just speculating. But it's a tremendous loss. It's like Rick Bassetti has come into the on-deck circle.
Murphy hitting 286 in the series, 2 for 7 with an RBI and a double. But defensively, he's been a tremendous player, and he's going to have to leave the game. And that's too bad.
You figure Johnson, as Murphy leaves, was hurt, missed game number 2 with a bruised hip and thigh.
Batting for Dwayne Murphy.
He's going right to the clubhouse. He's not even stopping. Joe Romo, the trainer, and the coach Lee Walls taking him right to the clubhouse, and Rick Bassetti will be the hitter for him. Bassetti had a double 1 for 1 in the series. That was yesterday. While he's loosening up, this telecast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball, is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited.
Bassetti, a former Toronto Blue Jay. He's a good outfielder. Plays shallow, can go get him, has a good throwing arm. Hits the ball right center, left center field.
There goes Henderson. Struck him out. The throw, they'll not get him. Nice play by the second baseman, Randolph.
First stolen base in the series for the A's. He really set Righetti up because he took a shorter lead that time, and when the youngster Righetti looked at him, it was what Maury Wills called a one-way lead, kind of leaning toward the bag with a shorter lead, but the momentum was going to second. Here comes the throw from Rick Cerrone.
Lucky that ball didn't go into center field. It was a nice play by Randolph. The batter is Johnson. The only 2 stolen bases prior to this came from Dave Winfield and Reggie Jackson. Johnson.
Watch him at second.
High, ball 1. Johnson is 0 for 3. In that first game, he didn't play yesterday due to an injury. Sliding in the second base, he said his hip, buttock, so sore, took whirlpool treatment and everything, just couldn't drive the ball, couldn't hardly move. But he's in it tonight. It is high. 2 balls, no strikes. High. 3-0. Walked him. Cerrone has a word with Righetti, who averages 3.3 walks per 9 innings pitched. Tony Armas.
This is the man that the Yankees believe they've got to pitch around. They had a pitch to him in game 1 with the bases loaded. He grounded out.
They've done a good job of stopping him so far. 1 for 8. A 125 average, although he was robbed of a home run on that tremendous catch by Winfield. Ball one. Both pitchers, as we look at Henderson at second and Johnson at first, both pitchers shaky first innings. Yankees had the bases loaded, and Nettles drove one down the line. Armas made the play to end it. There were 2 base on balls by Keough. Bouncing ball. Milburn to Randolph. 1. Double play. 6-4-3. Armas hits into a double play. That ends the inning. So at the end of 1 complete inning, the score here: Yankees nothing, Oakland A's nothing. A beautiful shot of a beautiful area. We are in Oakland. Oakland Alameda Coliseum. And the new center fielder replacing Dwayne Murphy is Bassetti. And Tony, they don't give up hardly any defense, but they will miss that bat.
Yeah, he's quite an outfielder. He's got a good throwing arm, charging the ball. He plays shallow, can go get it. In fact, we might see the basket catch. He's a pretty good showman, Bassetti.
Bob Watson takes the first pitch, low and inside, ball 1. All right, pal. Well hit, but right at the third baseman, Klutz. 1 out.
Bob Watson gets a hanging breaking ball from Keough. He's had control problems. Klutz with a nice play. Billy Martin, Wayne Gross, and Klutz, they alternate, as do Piccolo, or they platoon, as do Piccolo and Stanley. Here it is from left center field. He's been a good player for them since he stayed off the disabled list, former Yankee.
It's a strike.
Throwing, arguing with the home plate umpire, Jerry Neudecker. What a contrast. We saw umpires get blasted after game 1 and congratulatory phone calls right after game number 2.
Curveball is low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
We'll just show you that first pitch, the breaking ball that Cerrone thought differently about. Well, it's belt high, a curveball. That didn't look too bad to me. In fact, it's the kind of pitch that if you're a hitter, you might want to jump on. Just hangs up there about shoulder high.
Foul ball past third base coach Joe Altobelli. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Straight away center field, so Bassetti will have a chance to make the first play. Let's see if he... Nope, no basket catch.
He wants to make his first out in postseason play the sure way.
Let's pause briefly for our station identifications. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is WNBC TV, New York.
Hot shot, base hit, left field. Randolph is on. So with 2 outs, Randolph is on at first, and it brings up Mumphrey.
Piccolo playing Randolph up the middle. Keough got a ball down and in. Show again. Neither Piccolo nor Stanley have what you would call exceptional range, but they are smart because Billy tells them where to play, and they've made just 8 errors.
2 men out.
Randolph may try and get in scoring position. During the regular season, he stole 14 times, was caught 5 times. This is a situation where, with a left-hander up, Lemon may put him on his own. With 2 outs.
He's drawn the throw. He's got some ideas.
He's getting a bigger lead than Ricky Henderson was by a few feet. And now he's lessened it a little bit, or shortened it.
It's a strike on the outside corner. Two outs. Mumphrey was out on strikes his first time up. base hit, center field. Randolph rounds second. He's digging for third. Bassetti's throw is cut off by Piccolo. First and third for the Yankees. Milburn, the batter.
We'll watch Willie Randolph from our left center field camera. Does not use a coach. He sees Bassetti. He knew where he was playing. Touches the bag with his left foot, where you can cut the bag much more sharply.
So Milburn is the batter. He's been a hot hitter. 9 hits in his last 13 times at bat. 2 outs, nothing the score. Hot smash, nice play by Moore at first base. That ends the inning. A one-hopper right at him. Calvin Moore, a good play.
He almost comes up a little bit quickly as it hits that grass and slow down on him. He's shown a pretty good glove down there in this 3-game series.
So that ends the top half of the second inning. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. It's the Yankees nothing and Oakland nothing. And there she is, the Goodyear blimp Columbia from Los Angeles, California. And the pilot is Captain Joel Chamberlain from Norwood, Massachusetts. Our cameraman is George Simpson. Columbia is Goodyear's newest blimp and has been in operation for less than 3 months, giving us those beauty shots and a strike one on Klutz. That's a beauty shot.
Hey, Paul, you got me on ice or what?
1 ball and 1 strike. Bouncing ball. Nice play by Milburn.
Well, there were a lot of people that said when Bucky Dent got hurt that Milburn might be able to fill in for a week but not do the job. He's been outstanding, not just with the bat. He's made the plays.
Before Nettles
utility, he almost steps on the hand or the head of Nettles. Watch this. Just misses. He's done a job. You expected the defense from him, but he's hitting aside from that.
Calvin Moore, the batter. Ball 1 to count. He's 0 for 6 so far. He's made some good plays in the field.
Let's watch Nettles in the range. Nettles gives a shortstop a break because he can go so well to his left. That may be as tough a play as there is for a shortstop. I think the one in the hole where you can plant your foot is easier than coming in and having to throw across your body. That's the hardest pitch Righetti's thrown. Righetti threw 1 curveball in this ball game thus far to Klutz leading off the first pitch to him.
2 balls and a strike to count. 3 balls in the strike. Good fastball. You could hear it land in the mid of Cerrone. Righetti just rears back and pumps. A base hit to right field. Moore is on, so he gets his first base hit of the series. Moore singles are right. There you see him. Here's Dave McKay.
You cannot take Calvin Moore too lightly at first base as far as stealing. He had some pretty good minor league stats. 76 stolen bases, 58, 58.
There's a base hit, right field. Gamble charging hard. Moore will stop at second. So the Oakland A's have something going. Base runners at first and second, 1 man out. And the batter is Newman, the catcher, Jeff Newman. Newman has only been to bat twice. He's 0 for 2. In 2 innings, the Yankees have left 5 on. The Oakland A's have left 2 on. They have base runners on right now as we look at manager Billy Martin. He'd like to jump out on top.
Joe Newman against the Yankees in '81 was a pretty good hitter. He had 350. Just 16 ball games. Drove in just 1 run.
Curveball hangs high, and it's a full count. He took took something off the pitch. That was the one he was going to use to get Newman on strikes, but it was out of the strike zone. Newman laid off, and now it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. The base runner at second, Moore, checking with his third base coach, Boyer. Jackie Moore telling McKay what's going on. Here's a big pitch. They're holding. He struck him out. It's one of those decisions right there that the manager makes that can turn a ball game. Billy Martin said, nope, he strikes out too much against a strikeout pitcher. I'm going to hold my runners, and this time it paid off. Rob Pichilot is the batter. Pichilot is 1 for 3, 1 run scored. Bouncing ball, Nettles has it. Forces on. Nettles to Randolph. Gets McKay coming down from first. We complete 2 innings of baseball here, and the scores, we look at the play once again. It's the Yankees nothing, the Oakland A's nothing, and we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Baseball fever. Catch it. It's worth it.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
From Oakland, California. What a beautiful sight that is. It's the Yankees and the Oakland A's, and we're in the 3rd inning, no score, and Dave Winfield is going to lead it off here. Winfield lined hard his first time up. Right to Henderson in left field, who hardly had to move. Inside. It's ball 1. 1981 record of Dave Winfield. That's with the New York Yankees, not in the American League, those statistics.
Those are just offensive stats. It does not tell what this man has done defensively in going through first and third.
Off the end of the bat, Pichilot, long throw, low throw. He can't get him, and Winfield is digging for second. He'll make it easily. And with those giant strides, he had ideas of maybe even going to third.
Joe, that right there showed the tremendous instinct of Winfield. He stepped on the bag, the ball bounced, never needed a coach. A lot of guys would have run right straight out to the right field foul line. Watch when he hits. He sees the ball and he makes a left turn. Nobody had to tell him what to do. His sight never left the ball. Just marvelous.
Watch his stride as he gets near the bag to make it close.
So you kids, when they tell you don't watch the ball because you can run as fast and just swivel your head, and Winfield just taught you a lesson.
It's an error on the shortstop. Here's Bobby Mercer. Takes it low, ball 1. He takes normally a pretty good-sized stride, but when he got near first base, he really opened it up. It was almost like a broad jump.
Bobby wanting to pull the ball. And Winfield at third.
Outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Joe, that's another plus the Yankee have against right-handed pitching. They not only do they have the power from the left side, which has been indicated in this series so far, but when they get a guy like this, they've got guys who can pull the ball because they're experienced. Nettles, Gamble, Jackson when he's playing, Mercer. If you're a slap hitter, you got to work hard to get the ball to the right side.
There's his strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. The official report on Dwayne Murphy, who had to leave the game, is that he had back spasms on the left side. He took a hard swing with 2 strikes. Bassetti came in, struck out as we look at Winfield, and Murphy left the game. High hopper. Winfield's going to head for third. He'll make it as Pichilot goes to first. They get Mercer. The Yankees have Winfield at third with 1 out, and Oscar Gamble the batter.
Pretty good judgment on the part of Winfield once again. As soon as that ball got over the head of the pitcher, he took off. He was leaning toward third. He's now can score on the sacrifice fly.
Look at
doesn't need a
strides.
coach. Look at this. He's looking over his shoulder right there. If that doesn't remind you of Willie Mays, you can picture that, can't you? Willie coming around second, the hat off, looking back, not worrying about a coach.
I'll tell you the thing about Winfield, 2 of those strides, he just eats up the ground. Infield is moving in now as Oscar Gamble steps in the batter's box with Winfield at third. Line drive right at the second baseman. So they were positioned perfectly, and McKay hauls in the line drive. Dave McKay has been very upset by the criticism on the part of some people in the media that the Oakland A's is not a good infield. It's a shot hit right at him. So the infield moved in. Both managers just trying to jump out in front here, put a number on the scoreboard. Winfield is at third. 2 outs, and here's Nettles as we look at the Oakland bench. Slow hopper. McKay coming over. He's there. Third out. So the Yankees leave another runner. We go to the bottom half of the third inning. Yankees nothing. Oakland nothing. Plenty of signs, plenty of enthusiasm here at the ballpark. These Oakland A's, even with the strike, drew over 1 million. They were looking to draw some 2 million people here. Next year, we'll wait and see, but it should be a big banner year in this area. These fans are really enthusiastic, and I'll tell you, the way it's been going, it's like it's been boiling and bubbling, a Mount St. Helens feeling here where something's going to erupt. And we certainly thank the Oakland A's for that nice welcome that we just received, Tony. Henderson takes it high, ball 1. High. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Ball 3. He's on. Listen to the crowd. Billy Martin talking to Cliff Johnson. He's giving him instructions. Johnson is the on-deck batter. Well, in Yankee Stadium, we weren't sure. He told him to stall, but Johnson did a good job. But I doubt if that's what he's thinking about now. It's 0-0 in the third. Bassetti taking a good look at his third base coach. He got a good combination in there now.
Yeah, he can hit and run. He did for Roy Hartsfield up in Toronto. There's that snap throw stepping off with the left foot. Billy Martin is always thinking a couple of hitters ahead, and he may have given some instructions to Johnson that even if Bassetti makes out, you may want to take a pitch or two and let Henderson get in scoring position. But that remains to be seen.
He jumps on the first pitch and pops it up, and Willie Randolph says,
let it fall, get him off the base. That's one of those where you might think, trap the ball in the infield, smother it, get the force out at second base, get Henderson off the base pass and put Bassetti there. But it's something you've got to work on. It's an old Frank Frasetti trick that he had his infielders do. Obviously didn't dawn on Willie Randolph, but it could have been a good play.
Well, we saw it in that play McGraw pulled off and ended up with a double play. So Cliff Johnson is the batter now. Henderson, still a speedy base runner, is on. Even with a normal time at bat, Johnson takes a weekend to hit. There he goes. Here's a throw. Safe.
So I'm not certain that Henderson had that good a jump. But with Righetti, with that high knee kick, watch how many steps Henderson gets. A high knee kick as soon as that right foot passes the rubber, and Henderson just accelerates. Show you how he did. He broke stride and still made it relatively easy.
He had 4 steps before Righetti got rid of the ball, and look at him look back, wondering what happened, and it wasn't even close. Broke stride, took a look. He could have stopped for directions. 2 balls and no strikes. It's a strike on the inside corner. That was amazing, Tony, that he stopped and looked back. It was obviously a straight steal.
I don't know what happened. He looked back over his shoulder and didn't pick up the ball, and it'll give you an idea of the kid's speed. He's 22 years old, and Clete Barr said he has tremendous instincts base running, and you better watch him steal in third right now, too. He's getting a lot of room down there.
It's popped up in the infield. Watson and Randolph, and Watson says, I'll take it, and he does. Henderson, along with Milburn at second base. Record for most stolen bases in the game in the National League, it's 3. Joe Morgan and Ken Griffey have it. In the American League, it's 2, held by many players. So Henderson will be one of those many players, but you get the feeling before this night's over, he'll have that record to himself. 2 outs. And here's Armas, who into a double play his first time up.
Well, here's the guy, even though he has not had a hot series with 2 outs at first base open. They may pitch to him, but I've got to believe they're not going to throw many strikes. Going right after him.
They're going right to him.
It's Lemon's confidence in Righetti.
Fouled out of play, and it's strike 2. Armas, with men in scoring position during the 1981 season, hit at .370. Curveball. He went after him, and what a spot he placed that curveball. Young Righetti gets his 3rd strikeout. That ends the 3rd inning. So at the end of 3 complete innings, game 3, Yankees nothing, Oakland nothing. Well, when you talk about pitching, Tony Kubek is sitting next to a guy who knows what it's all about.
The man right here who's got a shot at the, well, you just got an award from Joe Cronin, but I'm sure, Raleigh, that you're going to get a lot of votes for signing. I personally think you ought to be the most valuable player in the league, but congratulations on the Joe Cronin Award.
Thank you very much. It was certainly a great honor, something I'll be proud of for a long time.
See, while the game goes along and Joe does the play-by-play, can you sit in with us for a while?
Sure.
You played in this ballpark and with this World Championship Oakland A's team when they were World Champions.
Keough delivers the first pitch, and it's ball 1 to Bob Watson. Is this a pitcher's park or a hitter's park, Raleigh?
Oh, this is certainly a pitcher's park, without a doubt. The ball doesn't really carry that far here.
Line drive down the left field line. Extra bases for Bob Watson. Played well by Henderson. They're going to haul him to a single. What a play. Oh, that had double written all over it.
Raleigh, he's a good young player. You've played against the kid, Ricky Henderson, and he has tremendous speed, and he's really improved his throwing arm.
Yes, he certainly has. He's got a great arm from the outfield. You can tell on this play here, he got it right up, got it into second base in a hurry, and it's probably a big play for Oakland right there, holding him to a single.
The Yankees have trouble as we look at this, driving home runs. Watson gets a low pitch from Keough.
What a play he made. Cerrone takes a strike on the outside corner. You stop to think about it, that's about a 330-foot single. Nettles yesterday hit a 395-foot single.
Klutz now at third base is Riley's starting to move back, but he is still well in front of the third base bag. Apparently thinking that Cerrone might be butting. Cerrone can pull the ball, Riley, and he's hit some shots down that side, so that's dangerous to play that shallow.
Yeah, well, they've got a good...
There's a force at second. Ooh. Did Watson ever dump him?
Playing that shallow might have worked. Had he been playing back for Cerrone, he may not have been able to come in and get the force out at second base. So Clete Barr moved him in, and it worked. Watch Bobby Watson really do a job on Dave McKay. McKay is a rock. He ordinarily gets the throw off.
He got him good there.
Why would he catch it one-handed, Tony, if he's going to go for 2?
I don't think he was going for 2. I think he realized he wasn't going to get a throw off, decided not to throw it wildly.
Randolph is the batter. 1 man out, no score. We're in the 4th inning. Low, ball one. Raleigh, in addition to the ball not carrying, is there anything else that makes it a pitcher's ballpark? Obviously, the fences.
The fences are probably it. You can pitch the Yankees a little bit different here in Oakland. In New York, you can probably stay away from the hitters a lot better. Here, you can pitch them both in and away. In New York, you can't do that. You try and stay away from the left-handers there.
It's going.
Runner goes on a hit and run, fouled off.
Raleigh, we saw it in the first inning with the bases loaded when Nettles lined the ball in the right field corner. At the 3:10 mark, that might have wrapped around the pole. Might have been a grand slam.
That would have been a home run in New York. That's one reason why you can pitch in this ballpark. You can might be able to make a mistake in and still get away with it. In New York, that would have been a grand slam, and the Yankees would have been up 4 runs.
On the Yankees and on the Oakland A's, who's the one man you don't want to beat you? Who do you pitch around?
I would have to say Winfield on the Yankees and probably Armas here on Oakland A's.
Randolph up the middle, high hopper. Piccolo has it, the flip in time. Beautiful play, and they're flashing some leather.
Here's where positioning your defense counts. Remember in the second inning, Randolph hit a ball in the hole between third and short, but they still played him up the middle of the diamond. Don't know if that was a screwball, Raleigh, or if it was a breaking ball, but Piccolo played it well and made a nice play to get a force out.
I couldn't really tell. It was a super play by Piccolo going that deep and still getting to be able to flip the ball back to the second baseman.
I'm going to go back to something that Joe asked you a while ago. You said Winfield for the Yankees. If Reggie Jackson's the lineup, would you still say pitching around Winfield or Reggie?
Well, then you'd have to pitch around both of them.
Very diplomatic.
It is.
Quick throw to first base. It's like the old Dodger lineup. You had to walk 8 guys to get to the guy you wanted to pitch to. Mumphrey. Outside. 1-1 pitch. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. Raleigh, you hear so much about getting ready in the bullpen. How many pitches does it take you to get ready?
On certain days, if it's real cold, you might take anywhere from 18 to 20, 22 pitches, something like that. On a warm day, you can get ready in about 15.
Outside. 3-1. I'm interested in this Winfield-Jackson. Who do you find it tougher between the two?
Well, Jackson can beat you, from the left side, and Winfield can beat you from the right side. I think Winfield's probably more of a line drive hitter than Reggie. Reggie can hit the high, long home runs, but the Winfield's more of a line drive hitter, so I would say Jackson would hurt you more.
There goes the runner. Ball 4. That's like asking the guy in the electric chair, huh? Do you want AC or DC?
I'll tell you,
2,000 or 1,500.
Yeah, Matt Keough is really pitching himself into trouble. He somehow seems to sneak out of it. You can't keep doing it against the Yankee ball club with hitters throughout their lineup. 9 hitters in that lineup. The Yankees have left 6 on base through 3. They've got a couple more. They've had man in scoring position every inning thus far. And that is putting an awful lot of pressure, I would think, on a pitcher to have to keep coming up with that big pitch or getting a play behind you.
Matt's done the job twice. He had Greg Nettles at the plate twice with runners in scoring position and got him both times, so he's done a good job on Greg.
2 outs. Base runners at first and second, 1 strike to count.
Raleigh, while we have a chance, we want to thank you for stopping by, and congratulations to Bud Selig and the rest of the Brewers and yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, Tony. Joe.
Okay, Raleigh, lined out of play. What a year he had. What a couple of years he's been having. Raleigh fingers. Milburn is the batter. He has 6 hits. He had a base hit here in the first inning. The record for the most hits in a 3-game series is 7. Brooks Robinson, the American League. National League also has a 7. Art Shamsky and Jay Johnstone. So Milburn bidding for the record book as we look at the base runners. Randolph and Mumphrey. High outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There's a look at the runners from our overhead shot. The defense. Give you an idea how they're playing. Milburn. Bouncing ball. Moore at first base. He'll take it himself. And once again, the Oakland A's get out of it. Yankees, nothing. As we go to the bottom of the 4th, Oakland A's, nothing. They'll be sending up Klutz, Moore, and McKay. A good crowd on hand, and baseball fans and Yankee fans will have no problem identifying That man right there. Jolton Joe DiMaggio, center of your screen.
Charlie Finley brought the A's here from Kansas City. He hired Joe D as a coach, who gave quite a few pointers to the Sal Bandos, Joe Rudy's, and Reggie Jackson.
Joe D. Left of your screen, the owner of the Yankees, George Steinbrenner. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Hopped up. Jammed him. Randolph will take it. Tell you, his last, well, he ended up the 3rd inning striking out Armas, but Johnson, little pop fly. Watson, Setti, a little pop fly. Here's Kelvin Moore. He singled his first time up. Left field, base hit. Curveball, it hung, and Moore is on with his second base hit of the night.
They shifted around to play him hit the right field, which is where most of his power is, right center to the right line. But a breaking ball he got in front, and we told you earlier he can run also. Can steal a base. McKay, 1 out, a double play possibility from the right side. So maybe we'll see a little bit of starting a runner and trying to hit behind him.
McKay singled to right field his first time up. 1 man out.
A lot of base runners in this ball game. 13. 12 men left on thus far.
Dave McKay, strike 1. Nettles at third, to second, 1 out, over to first. It is a double play. So Righetti gets the ground ball. Nettles starts it 5, 4, 3. Ends the inning at the end of 4 complete innings. A score here in a festive ballpark. It's the Yankees nothing, the A's nothing, and we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Matt Keough, who's thrown a lot of pitches, he's had some shoulder problems or stiffness for the latter part of the season. Winfield, the hitter. Moves him off the plate. 1 ball. Art Fowler, who pitched professionally at the age of 48. He impressed one thing upon all these young Oakland A's: throw strikes. He got it in on him, left field. Ricky Henderson to the warning track. He's got it. 1 out. Well, we asked Matt Keough about Billy Martin and about Art Fowler and what the turnaround was in his pitching career.
Well, in 1979, I lost 17 baseball games. Our team wasn't good, and I wasn't good, and that was just the facts of life. I had to make some small adjustments on my own, and then Billy Martin and Art Fowler came over here and taught me one of the toughest things to do in life, and that is to be a consistent winner. And it's something that a lot of people want to do, but they often don't prepare themselves to do, and I'm glad they both came over here and helped me do it.
Well, he turned his 2-17 record around to 16-13 the following year. 1 ball, no strikes with 1 out. Bobby Mercer. 1-1. No score in the ball game. We're at the top of the 5th. Mercer, a late replacement in case you tune in late for Reggie Jackson, who is scheduled to be the DH. With that calf muscle. Not allow Reggie to go. Talking about Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson, I think, and he hasn't really come out and said it publicly, would like to come back out to California. He's mentioned becoming a member of the Dodgers if the Yankees do not re-sign him. There's Reggie. Ron Guidry, with a mustache in front of Reggie, scheduled to pitch tomorrow if there is a game number 4. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. But if the Yankees do not sign Reggie, I would not be surprised one bit if he didn't end up becoming a first baseman for the Oakland A's. 3-2, 1 out to Mercer. Keough got him. He's got a good fastball tonight. There are 2 outs. Now the Oscar Gamble, who walked. Lined out. Second baseman Dave McKay. Yankees have had runners in scoring position throughout the first 4 innings. They've stranded 8. Breaking ball misses. 1 ball, no strikes to Gamble. He took something off a breaking pitch. 2-0. Left on base. See it on your screen. Yankees 8, A's 4. 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes. 3-1. He may have a cut if he gets his pitch. He loses Gamble. So, the Yankees, should they win today, they go on to the World Series. Play either Montreal or the Dodgers. Foul on a play by Nettles.
And speaking of Montreal and the Dodgers, how about that game Burris gave those Expos?
Well, Burris, a former Yankee, former Cub. Tomorrow in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Montreal, the Expos versus the Dodgers. Under Jim Fanning.
What a matchup in pitching, too. Royce, Steve Rogers. Should be a dandy.
He popped it up in the infield. Klutz. Got it for out number 3. The Yankees, through their 5 innings, now strand 9 base runners. So we'll go to the bottom of the 5th here in Oakland with the score. New York nothing, Oakland nothing. Due up, Newman, Piccolo, and Henderson. Reggie Jackson has been dubbed Mr. October. He's not in today's ball game, but we asked him to tell us what the mystique of Reggie Jackson is.
I don't know, Tony. I just do the best of my ability to try to concentrate. My talents and my abilities and my physical and mental abilities are all God-given. At this time of the year, I try to get my man will or my ability to reason by man out of the way and allow God to use my abilities and let them flow freely and get the most out of them.
That was not Socrates nor Plato. That was Reggie Jackson, the philosopher. A very intelligent man, and he can put words together with the best of them. We're in the bottom of the 5th. No score. Righetti, who has thrown 83 pitches through 4 innings, facing Jeff Newman. 1 strike. We're in Oakland for game number 3. Should the Yankees win, they go to the World Series. If Oakland win, they'll still have to win 2 more. But high in the air to left field. He just got under it. Winfield retires Newman.
Watching Winfield catch that ball, you can't help but think of the great play he made on not only Armas, but that one on DeCinces. And I thought Piniella really put in focus with a great line. He said Winfield is not an outfielder, he's a goaltender.
He was a great rebounder at the University of Minnesota. In case you hadn't heard before, drafted by 3 professional sports, the ABA, the NBA, the NFL, and of course baseball, which made him a wealthy man.
Oh,
what out?
Never.
Breaking ball hangs high from Righetti. 1 ball, no strikes. Righetti hasn't had his outstanding stuff. He has struggled with his control. We have not seen, as far as I can tell at this point, and we can't always show up here, that great straight change he has. There's a fastball. Fouled off by Piccolo. 1-1. Righetti, not only this important game from him, but Righetti was born and raised in this area, San Jose, so his relatives, a lot of friends, are watching him here tonight. He really jammed it. Righetti to Watson, 2 outs.
There's Winfield in left field. We were talking about that play. One of those you'll always remember. This is the one in Yankee Stadium. Up he goes. Almost into the stands. Could have been called for goaltending. When you're playing hockey, he saved one.
Here goes. They're trying to get them going. They do it more so when Henderson gets up than anybody else. Ricky Henderson has singled, stolen a base. He has walked and stolen a base. And there it is again. They're popping up section by section. As they say go, they sit down. The next section pops up.
That's great.
2 outs. Man you just saw in the picture, the man who orchestrates that. Righetti will face Henderson. With no score in the ball game. One ball. By Henderson, 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs. Taught by Don Ohlmeyer, the old half step. Strike to Ricky Henderson. The way these 2 pitchers are going, a Henderson walk, a stolen base, a base hit. You never know. That could be it. We got a long way to go, though, as we are only in the 5th. Three and 2 now to Henderson.
That's a good study. That stance he has, the front foot. He had a good cut at that ball.
So there's a 3-1 pitch for Ring. Henderson's doing one thing, sitting on a fastball, and the ball still, even though it was a good cut, got into him a little bit. He was still a little late. 3 and 2, 2 outs from Righetti. Foul on a play. Well, here we go again. Around the Oakland Alameda mezzanine section. I'll tell you, that'll drive a cameraman wild. Now, did Henderson hurt himself, too? This is unbelievable. Henderson has gone back now, and they're looking at his left wrist. He, on that last swing, hurt his hand. Joe Romo's out again. Billy Martin is there. Cliff Johnson was hurt in Game 1. He missed Game 2. You missed it earlier. Dwayne Murphy swung and pulled or injured something in his left side. And now Henderson, what is it, his wrist or the back of his hand, Joe?
Looked like his wrist. Meanwhile, Nettles came in to talk to Cerrone.
What other injuries can Billy Martin suffer to this ball club?
Watch it here and see if there's any kind of a tip-off. Right there.
He turned that wrist over, didn't he, Joe? Left wrist.
Bottom hand when he turned it over, and he grabbed it right there, so that was an indication that it was a little more than just a missed swing. And this crowd, meantime, they're just entertaining themselves, and that's the way it should be at the ballpark. And this guy really works it. I mean, such power he has. He just directs section by section, and you see it. It's a marvelous thing. Down below, they're all going bonkers. He really loves it. Look at him. He's got them all going. Now, keep in mind, there's nothing happening right now. They're just entertaining themselves and doing a great job of it. They're just having fun at the old ballpark.
Now, George is shaking his head. You might recall in Game 1, stalling tactics. Right there, when you get a guy sprayed, you get the wrist taped and the whole bit. You could see on our replays, which apparently Mr. Steinbrenner couldn't. He's hurting, or he isn't going to bunt on 3 and 2 because he's out. There's no stalling tactics whatsoever involved there. So that's it.
got Davis warming up, Tony. He's going to, looks like, stick somebody in the ball game.
No, they weren't stalling that time, George. The kid's hurt. Wish you could have seen our replay. So, 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 5th for the Oakland A's. There is no score in the ball game. Keough will take the mound for the 6th. And due up for the Yankees, it'll be Watson, Rick Cerrone, Willie Randolph, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. So we've got some changes here in Oakland. First off, Mike Davis went out to left field, and then he left the field. Now Mike Heath has gone into left field for the Oakland A's. In center field, we told you earlier that Dwayne Murphy was injured in the first inning, a pulled muscle. He had to leave. Lighetti came in. He finished off the strikeout. Armas is in right field. So 2/3 of what some consider the best outfield in baseball has been injured in this ball game. No score. Top of the 6th. Bob Watson facing Keough. Jumps on the first pitch, right field. Armas going back to the warning track. Possibility that was a home run in Yankee Stadium also, but not here. Would have been close. 1 out.
Armas has control of it all the way. You can just see him put up his hand saying, I got it, and I know I have plenty of room, as he gets on that warning track and makes an easy play.
You wonder, with the long time spent on the bench by Keough with some shoulder problems that he's had recently, getting a little cooler out here now since the sun has set a little while back, and he may stiffen up. We saw it happen to Norris in game 1. His elbow stiffened out, and he had to leave the ball game after a couple of pitches. 1 ball, no strikes with 1 out. Curveball. 1 hopper to Klutz. 2 outs. Keough, who was an infielder at one time, converted to shortstop. You'll see him look down at that foot. And if you are hearing of the Tom Seaver said in one telecast we watch out on the West Coast, Joe and I, where when he looked down or looked away, he formed a mental picture of where he's going to throw the ball. We're not certain if that's what Keough does. 2 outs. Willie Randolph. Randolph is singled, got as far as 3rd. On board in the 4th also with a fielder's choice. Now he is shaking his hand. Keough is shaking his right hand, which at times can be an indication the pitcher is tired. You can see he's trying to loosen himself up. Look out! It deep to left field and 1 ball, no strike pitch. Home run, Willie Randolph. Yankees 1, Oakland nothing.
Randolph hit the ball hard, and when you hit one like that, you know it. Watch his reaction. He knows it's gone. He doesn't hit that many, but he knew that one was touched off. And Mike Ferraro, the first base coach, just confirms the feeling as you see Randolph rounding first base, and it's 1-0 here in the 6th.
So now it'll be Jerry Mumphrey, the leadoff hitter. Ball up high from Keough. Willie Randolph during the regular season hit just 2 home runs. Art Fowler, Billy Martin, Steve McCaddy on the bench. But there was no doubt about that, Joe. I mean, that ball went back in 15, 16 rows.
It did, and here comes Art Fowler. He wants to talk to his pitcher and to his catcher, and Picholo is coming in.
Well, I really think he wants to talk to his pitcher more than anything else to see if that arm, and that hand which he was shaking, is stiffened up. We're at that point of the ball game where you're in the 6th, and should Righetti begin to fade at all. In fact, right now, somebody is trotting down to the Yankee bullpen. It could be Davis, we don't know. But you get to looking to the bullpen for the Goose and for Davis.
Tony, if you are a statistics nut, the Yankees in 1981, 45-21 in games that they scored first.
Well, Randolph got him on the board with 2 outs in the 6th. Popped up in the infield by Mumphrey. Klutz yelled off by Piccolo. 3 outs, but Randolph with a 1-ball, no-strike pitch with 2 outs. It's a long home run to left to give the Yankees a 1-0 lead. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th here in Oakland. With the score 1-0, it'll be Bossetti, Johnson, and Armas for Oakland. It's like a diamond in the night, isn't it? Oakland Alameda Coliseum with the Yankees 1, Oakland nothing. The Goose, it is not yet quite his time of the game, but it is coming. Righetti will face Bossetti, Armas, Klutz, Gossage. He went through that Midwest League a few years back, and there were some pretty good players there when he was the property of the White Sox. He and Terry Forster, Bucky Dent, were roommates and teammates on those ball clubs. Gossage saved 3 ball games in the Milwaukee miniseries, Milwaukee Yankees. He saved game 1 of this series, 1-1. Popped up right side. Randolph will be hollered off by Gamble, 1 out.
Tony, the official word on Henderson, a bruise in the left wrist bone while swinging the bat.
The man on the mound right now for the Yankees, Dave Righetti, had 2 wins in that mini-series against Milwaukee for the Eastern Division title. 1 starting and 1 in relief. Another one of the walking wounded. Cliff Johnson is playing with a bruised hip. He has walked and popped out to first. Little late on a Righetti fastball. Once more to right field. Oscar Gamble for out number 2. Righetti pushing this Oakland club closer and closer to Goose Gossage time. Should he be called on? He's thrown a lot of pitches. Billy Martin, who in many people's book is the manager of the year in the American League. You have to consider Ralph Houk, the Boston Red Sox. 2 outs. He just blew it by Armas. Just in on the fist, tied him up. Fly ball right field. And drive Gamble to the warning track. Armas saying maybe in Yankee Stadium. But it's 3 up, 3 down. Gamble with all 3 putouts in the 6th. We'll go to the 7th here in Oakland in game number 3. New York 1, Oakland nothing. There are your due-ups for the Yankees.
Joe Garagiola with Tony Kubek here at Oakland Alameda Coliseum, along with you, really enjoying a pitcher's battle. Great shots being provided, and it's 1-0 here. Yankees on a home run by Willie Randolph. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for New York. No runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for the Oakland A's. Keough all the way as we look down at this. Field is in great shape, just marvelous shape. Keough will be facing Milburn, Winfield, and Mercer.
Well, Larry Milburn has done pretty well with the bat. Usually, in postseason play, there's a player who comes out of nowhere.
Well, first of all, when I came over to the Yankees, I realized that they got me for a boy that Bucky or Willie got hurt, and happened that Bucky got hurt, and I knew that the responsibility of playing shortstop laid on me, and I just went out there and tried to do the best job possible day in and day out, and I think I've done a good job.
Understatement of the year, Milburn, a super sub, 9 hits in his last 14 times at bat. A hot shot. Piccolo, good play, got him. Beautiful play by the shortstop, Piccolo. Here it is. He really had to get something on it, Tony.
He almost got handcuffed when he didn't backhand the ball, but he shows a strong arm. Well, those hits don't tell the Milburn tale. He was almost on once again. He's been on 8 times in these 3 ball games. He slaps the ball to the right of Piccolo. Hit it hard. Moore has shown a pretty good glove over at first base, too, with that big, long stretch.
You gotta like him. Here's Winfield, Yankee bullpen.
A little bit of stirring. And what an awesome bullpen it is. That's Ron Davis. Yankee bullpen, an earned run average of 2.26. Winfield. Strike one. 1981, they gave up 70 earned runs in 278 in the third innings. He doesn't get it. 2 strikes.
Keough really has had a nice assortment of pitches. He's thrown quite a few pitches. The Yankees have had pressure on him. That was a big breaking ball. He took something off that had Winfield in front and also the top of the ball. He's thrown a screwball on occasion. Had a pretty lively fastball. Moved it around. He's become a pitcher.
Johnny, you talked about it. You just wonder if the delay affected him. Because it was right after that Randolph hit the home run. He got him on strikes. That's the 3rd strikeout. 2 outs in his 7th.
That's one of those sinkers.
That's one of those sinkers that they talk about that is suspect. Irrigated fastball is the new term. Here is Bobby Mercer. Mercer, he walked in the 1st inning. He bounced out in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th. Ball 1.
We'll show you the pitch that Winfield struck out on. To this point, the fastball from Keough has been taking off. You can see, if in fact that was a doctored baseball, what it might look like. It's like a knuckleball, but thrown with the speed of a fastball. Baby really went down.
Ron Davis has put on his jacket and is walking towards the Yankee bench now. You just wonder, there you see him, if he's going to be brought in.
Joe, the way Righetti pitched that 6th inning, he was looking for a little more effort on every pitch. He may have been told, listen, this may be your last inning, so get 3 outs and just go as hard as you can.
Right now it's 3 balls and no strikes on Mercer. The Yankee relievers in '81 inherited 133 runners and only 41 of them scored, which means that they stranded 7 out of 10. You can see why they go to their bullpen in a hurry. Strike 1, 3 balls and 1 strike. With Ron Davis and the Goose, Gossage down there, they can erase a lot of your mistakes.
Man next to the Goose,
Frazier,
right.
too.
What a job he did yesterday for them.
Base hit, center field. Mercer singles to center field. He's on. And that brings up Oscar Gamble. Oscar's 0 for 1. He has walked twice. Takes it outside, and it's ball 1. It's high. 3 balls and no strikes. He went for it, didn't get it. He was going. He was look at the ball. He wants to check the ball. That ball did some funny things. And Keough has just rubbed it up, and he's turned his back. And oh, now you want to see the ball? It's all gone.
That was a little obvious, Matt. He got the ball back, walked off. The second base umpire, Darwood Merrill, was looking right in his face. Oscar said, come on now.
Watch this ball. Watch it break down.
Certainly, that's not a screwball. They're saying he's throwing a screwball now, but that's a little hard for a screwball.
That's a wet sinker. It's tough for Keough to pitch in Arizona. That ball dry up halfway to home plate. There goes the runner. Walked him.
Well, the man coming in right now is Greg Nettles. We asked him if he suspected that the Oakland staff throws spitballs.
Norris, if he does, but a couple of the other guys had in the past games we played him. But still, it's nothing more than a good sinker. And if they don't get it down where it belongs, it's an easy pitch to hit. If they get it up around the belt, then they're going to wish they hadn't thrown it, because it's just a spitter that stays up is probably the easiest pitch in baseball to hit.
Everybody, Joe, still refers to it as a spitter, but I think with the jellies and the Vaselines and the hair tonic being used and the soap, as you mentioned earlier, soap put on the thing, and slippery elm, and the grommets and some old style gloves that pitchers still like that are sharp and they can cut it, and belt buckles. It's a lot more than saliva.
Sandpaper.
It's about the same as it always was, though, isn't it?
Hasn't changed much. Slow curveball, ball one. Every time I hear that, see, the psychology of the hitter changes as we look at Mercer at first and second and Gamble at first. The hitter will usually take the pitch and turn to the umpire and ask him about it, and the umpire will call it a strike. And I always remember the great Stan Musial's line when Preacher Rowe was supposed to throw a spitball. McKay's coming in now. He wants to talk to his pitcher.
I enjoyed an article in the New York newspaper. It was collaboration on the articles by Dave Anderson and Red Smith. And they called Burley Grimes in Holcomb, Wisconsin. Talked about him being the last spitball pitcher to legally throw it. Martin's out. Maybe Keough had signaled out to McKay or somebody suspected his arm is stiffening up. He's having a little problem.
Musial said about Rowe's spitball as we watch this meeting. He said, don't worry about it. Hit the dry side. Of course, Stan could do that. 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Montreal and the Los Angeles Dodgers. There you see it. Steve Rogers against Jerry Royce. That series is tied at 1 apiece. Be a dandy ball game.
Yeah, the possibility looms that we may have the first International World Series. Canadian Club and American Club. The Dodgers will have a lot to say about that.
2 balls and no strikes on Greg Nettles. He flied to right, bounced out, and popped to the third baseman. All right, 2 outs. We're in the 7th inning. Yankees are leading 1-0. Nettles is a good cripple shooter. He'll be looking for a particular pitch in a particular spot. If he gets it, he'll show you a pretty good cut. He got it. He had a good cut. He played perfectly in the gap. Righetti hauled it in. And that ends the inning. So the Yankees do not score in the top of the 7th. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning to score here. It is New York 1, the Oakland A's nothing. They'll be sending up Klutz, Moore, and McKay. Joe Garagiola with Tony Kubek here at the Oakland Alameda Coliseum. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, game 3. Should the Yankees maintain the 1-0 lead, they will go to the World Series. As the Montreal Expos and the Dodgers will battle it out tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Rogers against Royce. Yankees won the first 2, leading 1-0. And Newman here in the bottom of the 8th. He's got power.
Any sign of trouble on the part of Davis at this stage, and the Goose will pop up in a hurry in the bullpen.
Strike 1, Davis. We have a pinch hitter coming out of the Oakland dugout. In the on-deck circle, Keith Drumright. There you see him. Davis coming sidearm.
Joe, I think Ron Davis feels he has something to prove, because some people said that the stalling tactics works against him, and it got rattled. He got rattled, and he walked Johnson, was removed from the ball game. So he wants to finish. He doesn't want the Goose to come and relieve him.
That's fouled on the right field line. I can't say that I blame him. He's been too good a pitcher to be remembered for the 81 season for a stalling tactic.
He's the guy, in case our fans didn't see the first ball game, that you mentioned he'd like the new stat put in the record sheet, stat sheets, a hold. Doesn't get credit for the saves because the Goose gets him off.
That's foul back. A nephew of a former major leaguer, Red Murph. Ron Davis. Another great trade by the Yankees. Exchange for Ken Holtzman, who's now out of baseball. And here is Davis, one of the mainstays of the Yankee bullpen. 2-strike pitch. Did he go around?
Wow.
Yes, he did, says Neudecker. So it's a strikeout.
What a fastball.
That's Marty Springstad, who is ready to help Neudecker, but Neudecker threw that right hand up.
This is that 4-seam fastball that Stan Williams taught him. Davis with the 2 seams, his ball sunk. And Williams said to him, just before he left the Yankees, said, you throw hard enough that you can make that fastball ride or hop. Go to 4 seams, make use of them all, and that's what you just saw. Look at Cerrone saying about Drumright, watch the bunch, you never know.
Nettles is in close at third and near the line. Drumright takes the first pitch. It's high, and it's ball 1. Drumright, 1980, hit 286 and 81 in Tacoma.
fastball, and you can hear that ball hitting that big pillow that Cerrone's using. You have to have a good fastball, as we see this crowd make a glove like that pop. Bouncing ball, first base. Watson steps on the bag. Too easy out, and I tell you, this Yankee pitching, Tony, since that walk in the third inning, have really done a job.
Well, he's set down 17 in a row. Now, there was a single back in the fourth, but then a double play. So there was a base runner, but it's 17, goes way back to the walk, and stolen base by Henderson in the third. Look who's up. Look who's up in the Yankee bullpen.
This is Mike Heath, 2 for 5 with a run scored, a .400 average. He's playing left field tonight. He's been a valuable man for these Oakland A's. Catching, outfield, there he is. The Goose, Gossage with Jeff Torborg. Bob Watson, having played perfectly, races to the bag, wins the race, and it's 1-2-3 for the Oakland A's in the 8th inning. So at the end of 8 full innings here in Game 3, it's the Yankees 1, Oakland nothing.
If you're with us for games 1 and 2 in Yankee Stadium, a lot of talk about Billy Ball, Reggie, George Steinbrenner. We talked to Bob Lemon about it.
Well, I kind of like it that way. I prefer it to let them have all the limelight or whatever they want. But I guess the two mystery guests in New York were the owners of the Oakland Ball Club and myself, and I hope it just stays that way.
Only Bob Lemon could say it so well. Everybody's favorite, Bob Lemon. Fred Stanley's gone in to play shortstop for Oakland. The two mystery guests, the Oakland ownership and me, says Bob Lemon. He's a philosopher in his own quiet way, his own quiet, strong way. 2 balls, no strikes. Mumphrey draws a base on balls, and it brings up Milburn. In their own quiet way, Mumphrey and Milburn have really done a job. That's the 6th walk given up by Keough. Other meeting on the mound as we look at Jerry Mumphrey. Milburn, rather. Looking down at the bullpen, the Oakland bullpen is busy. Yankee bullpen is busy. That's the Underwood is the left-hander and Beard is the right-hander. And the Goose is busy down in the right field section. And coming in close to third is Gross as Milburn waits. Mumphrey gets back. That ball may have hit him. They're looking for the bunt. And it's bunted. Right back to Keough. He started to go to second. Dropped by McKay. Everybody's safe. McKay dropped that ball. Keough started to go to second. And now time is called. They want to look at the ball. So Milburn is on. At first base, Mumphrey stays at second base. Billy Martin is coming out to talk to his young pitcher. So the Yankees have base runners at first and second. Nobody out. And they got the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place hitters coming up. Billy's had his bullpen going. It's a 1-0 score. Randolph a home run in the 6th, but now Mumphrey and Milburn are on. They did in that inning what they've been doing this entire series. There you see the left-hander, Underwood, Beard the right-hander, and Altobelli is going out to second base while Martin talks to his pitcher, and he's talking to the base runner, Mumphrey. It's a sacrifice. That's the way the official scorers call it. Sacrifice error on the second baseman. Glenn Schwartz and Red Foley, the official scorers. Here's the play again now. He bunts the ball. Milburn bunts it right back. Now Keough starts to go to second. Decides against it. McKay just didn't handle it. May have taken his eye off the ball. sacrifice error second baseman. Here's Winfield now. Winfield lined hard to left in the first, safe on an error in the third, fly to left in the fifth, struck out in the seventh. Squared around as if to bunt. It's a strike call. 1 ball and 1 strike. Winfield squared around the bunt once again. Tried to bunt it. Doesn't get the job done. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. There you see the replay. That last little move when he moved the bat, that's when he lost it. Bunting. The simple process of catching the ball with the bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Is it a foul tip? It is. He's out on strikes. So there's 1 out, and here comes Billy Martin now, and he's going to make a move. So Billy Martin's going to make a pitching change. You see Underwood coming in. And so we've got a break in the action here. We'll be right back after these messages.
You know, it takes a lot to upset an easy-going guy like me. But tonight, I had meatballs, and they're laying here like hardballs. And the fettuccine feels like it'll be here next season. It's enough to give a guy an upset stomach.
Upset stomach? Pepto-Bismol. It coats, soothes, relieves.
Hey, I think I'll try a swig of this.
Billy, will you use a spoon?
Oh, no!
The Oakland Alameda Coliseum, where over 50,000 are in this ballpark. They came here, most of them, I'm sure, to root their favorite ball club, the Oakland A's, to a victory, because a defeat tonight and it's all over. Yankees will go to the World Series, but there you see it. Yankees 1-0. We're in the 9th inning. Underwood has just replaced Keough, who got a tremendous ovation from this crowd. Base runners at first and second, 1 man out. And I'm sure that on that Oakland bench, they're saying to themselves, without really putting down Willie Randolph, to say a home run by Randolph, it would be bad enough. Winfield, Jackson if he were playing, Gamble, Nettles, Watson, Cerrone. Randolph has done a good job, and there you see the Oakland bench. He's done a good job defensively, getting on base. He has put a big number on the scoreboard tonight. Underwood, 4 and 6 on the year. And Lou Piniella is coming on as a pinch hitter. He hit a big home run in Yankee Stadium.
Bobby Mercer, number 14, Lou Piniella.
Randolph in 1981 hit 2 home runs all year, and he has a big one tonight. So here is Piniella. Piniella 2 for 4 in the series. He takes a strike. 1 home run, 3 runs batted in, a run scored. Billy Martin trying to keep that bench alive. In the 9th, Posetti, Johnson, and Armas, the 3 scheduled hitters. Piniella lines a single to left field. Here comes Mumphrey around. The throw is going to be in time. They got it easily. Piniella hits the ball hard, but Mike Keough really a good throw. He gets that ball in a hurry, and Newman has a nice big hop, a room service replacing an injured Henderson, and he makes a fine play to cut down a big run. And now Barry Foote will come on. He's a pinch hitter for Gamble. This will be the first appearance for him in the series. And it's outside, ball one. Milburn at second base. Piniella at first. Foote lines one to right field. Armas, good arm. Here comes the throw. They cut it. They stop him. I tell you, this Oakland outfield, 2/3 of it out, but yet Armas, a good throw, stops Milburn at third. Here's the throw once again. It looked like Milburn was going to try to score a big turn at third base, and then Altobelli very wisely had already held him up. You see Altobelli in the background, or he would have been a dead duck. Here comes Milburn rounding third. He's looking for the sign, and whoops, put the brakes on. And we're going to have a pinch runner at first base for Barry Foote. Bases are loaded. Bobby Brown. So, the Yankees, 2 base hits, walk and an error, but they have not put another number on the scoreboard. It is still 1-0, and the Goose is coming in from the bullpen. It looks like he'll be the pitcher for the Yankees. Piniella's ball was well hit to left field. He's made a great play at the plate. Barry Foote hit the ball hard to right field, and Armas's arms kept Milburn at third. So now it's Greg Nettles, who's 0 for 4. 2 men out. Ball one. Curveball, it misses, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Underwood in relief. Keough, what a job he did. There you see the base runners. Milburn, Piniella, Bobby Brown. There's a strike. Nettles can't believe it. You be the umpire from your living room. Nettles thought it was inside, obviously, but it may have caught the corner. Jerry Neudecker right on top of the play. 2-1 pitch. Strike 2. The crowd behind the A's dugout standing up, rooting them. Foul ball. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 50,513 in the ballpark. Bases loaded. Swinging towards the right field line is what Billy Martin was wanting. Listen to the crowd. Mike Ferraro, the first base coach, retrieves it. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded. 9th inning, Yankees 1, Oakland nothing. Game 3, Yankees win it, they go to the World Series. It's as simple as all that. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded. Will be off with the crack of the bat. Greg Nettles, who has already tied a record of 6 RBIs in a 3-game series, is up in the batter's box. Center field deep. Misjudged by Bassetti. Can't get it. 3 runs will score. Nettles has himself a double and a new record. The Yankees have a good-sized lead, and look at the reaction on the bench. They feel that that nailed it down right there. Bassetti, who appeared to turn the wrong way, and now you have to think about would Murphy have been able to make that play in center field. The Yankees, on the 3 RBIs by Nettles, have taken a 4-0 lead. And Bob Watson takes it low, ball 1. Bassetti tries to get it. It turned the wrong way over to the outstretched glove. A line drive right at the second baseman. McKay ends the inning, but the Yankees put 3 runs on the scoreboard. And as we go into the bottom half of the 9th inning, the score here, the Yankees 4, the A's nothing. And due up for the Oakland A's in the bottom of the 9th, which could be the last inning of the whole season for him. It'll be Bassetti, Johnson, and Armas. Gossage is the king of the bullpen. Here's what he has to say.
Well, as far as our bullpen is concerned, I don't think that we have to take a backseat to anyone. As far as, this series is concerned, in a short series, I think pitching is going to be the main thing. I look at our bullpen as Davis as being the big man in that, because he allows me to go if he goes to 2 or 3 innings ahead of me, it allows me to go the 8th and 9th and keeps me strong for the remainder of the series.
2 strikes on Bassetti. Tell you how strong have they been. I'll give you a statistic in a minute. It'll tell you everything. Fastball is high. Games that they took the lead into the 7th inning in '81, they were 53-3. Outside. In 1980, games that the Yankees took the lead into the 7th inning, they were 77-2. And it's Davis and the Goose. The Yankee owner, and he just blew that ball right by him, and Bassetti is out on strikes. In the middle of your screen, the Yankee owner, George Steinbrenner, Marsh Samuel standing next to him. 4-0 is the score here. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Yankees with 3 runs. In the 9th inning, they've broken it open. And Johnson will have to face the Goose. Brown is in right field for the Yankees, and Gossage is on the mound. The only changes. You can hear that ball pop. Gossage faced 20 batters in the division series against Milwaukee. Retired 17. He's got 4 saves in postseason play. 3 against Milwaukee. It's popped up straight back out of play. And it's 2 quick strikes. Billy Martin looking on. They battle hard, these Oakland A's. Tonight, injuries to Henderson, to Murphy. Look at the Yankees poised. They can sense it with the Goose out there. He struck him out. Big breaking ball. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts. And this 1981 season, a great job done by Billy Martin and his Oakland A's, comes down to Tony Armas.
Right fielder, Tony Armas.
Yankees all poised on the front step of the dugout. He really overthrew that one. Ball 1. Right center field, coming hard Brown. He can't get it. Armas is on. They're still alive. He's battling Oakland A's. And that brings up Wayne Gross. There are 2 outs.
Third baseman, Wayne Gross.
Gross, slide to right. He came on as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning, batting for Klutz. Strike 1. Watson, of course, playing way back behind the runner, Armas. Too fast, says Gross, and so time is called. There you see Watson. Foul tip, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Gossage against Gross. Yankees 4, A's nothing. Bottom of the 9th. Look at the Yankees. They are poised. Curveball misses. Oakland A's, a tremendous season. Battling all the way. Popped up, short center field. Randolph going out. Yankees win it. And here they come out of the dugout to get the goose. We'll be getting the celebrations. Tony Kubek is in the Yankee clubhouse, and the Yankees will go on to the World Series. Obviously, they'll be watching that television tomorrow night. We hope you will. Montreal against the Dodgers. There's Reggie Jackson, George Frazier. There's Tony. And there's the Goose. Goose is up there. Oscar Gamble. Barry Foote. Let's go to Tony Kubek, who's got the goose in the clubhouse. Go, Tony.
Here we go, baby. All right, we're down to the Yankee clubhouse. Obviously, a big celebration just starting. The goose. Goose Gossage. Congratulations, Rick.
Well, thank you, Bobby. I mean, Tony, it was Nettles that did it. You know, he's such a clutch ball player, and I think that this ball club's loaded with clutch players.
Well,
no question about it.
It looked like the plan was to get Righetti through 6 or so. Davis, it's been going on like that for how long? Righetti was marvelous the second half. Davis picks him up, and you come and finish off. Greg. Here he is. Hey, Rich, thank you for coming up. Greg, congratulations. We do not have official word at this time, but you may have been voted the most valuable player in this thing. You had one heck of a series after a struggle.
That'd be nice. After the year I went through last year and everything, this is perfect. This is perfect. Now we got one more thing to do.
There's been a lot of pressure coming through to beating Milwaukee after being up by 2 going into the 5th game, and somewhat of a tirade by your owner.
Yeah.
But it looked like the old veterans came through.
Yeah, victory for the veterans. We got together afterwards and said we got to save some of the older guys' jobs, and I hope we did it.
Greg, thank you so much. I know we're going to get there with the rest of the team.
Thanks,
Dave Righetti, who went a strong 6 innings, picked up by Davis and then Gossage. Dave, the plan must have been, according to what you told me your boss said, was to go a strong 6, and you did.
Yeah, they wanted to do that. You know, they naturally want to with all the money, and they got in the bullpen. Davis and Gossage are awesome, and that's the plan. Go 6 or 7 and let them take over.
Dave, you're from this area, live in San Jose, just 15, 30 miles away, whatever it is. Somebody said, and I don't know if it's true, is it the first time your father has ever seen you pitch live?
Yeah, it is.
Have you spoken to him yet?
No, I told him to come in here, but I don't know where he is, but I know he's happy. He's probably scared to death right now.
You've had a pretty good last 8 games. You pick up 2 wins against Milwaukee. You pick up a win today, so you've made your salary, haven't you, over this part?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You know, I had some tough no decisions early, but we had already won the first half. We had a chance to be in the playoffs, and everybody said, you'll make your money in the playoffs, and that's what we did.
Could you have gone longer if you had to?
Oh, sure. Jesus, playoffs. I'll go out there as long as they want me to go.
What about the plans as far as who you might want to play? And it's a long way to go to get to win the World Series. What about which team? Do you have a preference? Dodgers, Montreal?
Dodgers all the way. Yankees, Dodgers is all I've ever thought about all my life, and that's it.
Dave, congratulations. Ron, come on up. Ron Davis, I'll tell you, pal, you were dropped down to the number 9 spot a while back. but that's got to be as big a home run, well, as anybody's hit.
Tony, it felt great. I've been trying to keep my confidence all year. I've been hitting the crap out of the ball, and thank goodness I got one I can handle, man. I hit it a good ways, boy. Felt great.
What kind of pitch?
I think it was a high spit ball. No, I mean a high fastball that hit me, but I'll take it anyway. It was great. I feel good.
I mean, you look like Reggie Jackson or like power hitting that ball. That ball did not just make the fence. That ball went about 15 rows.
When I hit it, I knew I had it all the way. I just threw my hands up, praise the Lord, for giving me the power to do it. I feel great.
Willie, what about the rest you'll get, your pitching staff will get? You'll go on to play in the World Series. Any preference as to which team you play, or does it matter at all?
Not really. We're going to take a breather right now and get ourselves together, and it doesn't matter who we play. We've been with the Dodgers before. It might be nice going to Montreal also, but we're so high right now. We'll play anyone, Tony.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Hey,
great home run.
Dad, real quick. Hi, Pops. Way to go.
All right.